Running for us has traditionally been associated with activities at school and in some rare cases college. In recent years, we've seen running extending out of schools and entering the life of the adults. We now have running communities that run together and also help new runners experience the runner's high. I'm Chaitanya, a software consultant by profession and a runner at heart. We at Open Face Studios want to bring the runner's high to you, where runners from around you bring fun and useful info about themselves, their running, their habits, their traditions and philosophies on running. He's been a source of inspiration for many runners over a town-sized area. Let's meet our first runner, as I and many other runners love to call Guruji. The better Kickstarter, smoothies or caffeine?
Caffeine by far.
Running goal for this year?
Run good.
Favorite running quote?
Tomorrow you can run farther. That's by my favorite runner, Scott Jurek.
Favorite season to run in?
Winter.
Have you ever overtrained?
Occasionally, but I've recovered soon enough.
Your running habit that irritates others?
I run without a watch. I often end up asking my fellow runners what is the time, and I love to see the way they get irritated by this question.
Your favorite road or terrain?
Terrain by far.
A gadget you would hate on you?
I just hate all gadgets, just adds weight. I prefer to run light.
Two running terms that you hate?
Fast and furious.
Thought of running as a career?
Well, no, it's too much, I guess.
Ever tried taking those free hugs and kisses offered on races?
Oh no, I'm a confirmed antisocial. I would never do that.
When did you first start running, Satish?
So I started running in 2004. That was the time the first Mumbai Marathon was held. I was into a typical corporate job, working long hours without much outlet for any physical activity. And when I came to know about this a couple of months before the event was held, I just went and signed up. I thought it's a good opportunity to sort of test my stamina and get into some running.
What inspired you to take up running?
Yeah, so this was in the year 2003, late 2003. I was 15 years into a working career in Mumbai, and then I read about this Standard Chartered Mumbai Marathon coming up in Jan 2004. So I was probably looking for a release or an outlet just in terms of getting some physical activity, and I thought this is a good opportunity to get started. So I just went and signed up for the half marathon in Stanchart 2004. That's how I got into running, and I've been a regular ever since.
How many times do you train in a week?
I typically run maybe 3 days a week and do at least 1 day of focused strength training. I ensure that I have at least 1 or 2 days of full recovery because the benefits of running are coming as much from the running activity itself as from the recovery. So it's only when you're actually recovering that the full benefits of training kick in. So I do ensure that I have adequate recovery as well.
What is your favorite city to run in?
My favorite city to run in is Mumbai, and it's not a very tough course, but I think what is unique about Mumbai is the sheer crowd support that you have. So it's like ordinary folks, citizens, residents of the buildings lining the route, and families and kids turning out, cheering, clapping with placards, banners, and ready to give you hugs, out with chocolates and Cadburies and fruits and whatnot. It's just an amazing experience. But for the sheer physical beauty, I've run once in Ladakh, and I would love to go back there. I think it's just the arid landscape, the starkness of the landscape in Ladakh that has got a magical pull. It's a fantastic place. It's a very tough course. The altitude and the height also make it all the more challenging. But that just adds to the sort of the pull that Ladakh has. I would love to go back there and run.
What is your favorite sports magazine?
When I was a kid growing up, there used to be this magazine called Sports World, which was a favorite of mine. Nowadays, you don't really have sports magazines, but there are a couple of, there's a lot of information available online, and I see a lot of sensible advice which is devoted to running on couple of websites like filmaffetone.com, which I find extremely useful and from my point of view very it has very folksy and common sense behind it, which always stresses balance and moderation in everything you do, whether you're running or eating.
What is your opinion on barefoot running?
I think it's something that all of us should try out. I myself have undergone this journey where I used to run in conventional running shoes and then gave a try to the minimalist shoes and running in sandals. And now I don't run in the conventional thick-soled shoes. My shoe cupboard has just the minimalist thin-soled shoes and running sandals. And I definitely want to graduate into barefoot running because I really believe that barefoot running is the one where you are really in contact with the ground, and it's really good for promoting a good posture when running and promoting good running form, which is ultimately good for your running as well. It's a bit of a controversial topic, I believe, because some people have tried barefoot running and have got injured, and my advice would be to try both. Give it a good sustained try. Don't just try it for a few weeks and give it up. And if you like it, just get into barefoot running. And this is something that I would want to do.
What is your favorite stretch routine?
That would be something that I call a reverse bridge. So it's kind of a stretch which is useful to build up your core, particularly your hamstrings and lower back and your glutes. So I try to do that as often as possible.
What is your favorite hydration?
Post-run hydration is a favorite. Of course, I would obviously not advise it during or pre-run, but I think again, after having run a good race, it's always a good occasion to celebrate with friends. And for me, having a beer is just on the top of my list.
What's your favorite cheat meal?
Samosas and jalebis.
Mood music while running?
Actually, some classical music, which can be pretty boring for many, but I find it very inspiring.
Do you have a superstitious ritual before a race?
Actually, none. I have to disappoint you here.
A walk in the park with your wife or a run with your running buddies? What's your choice?
Running buddies. My wife and I have had enough of each other as it is.
Does running help with your work, focus, sex?
Focus, in work, and in sex, and everything else.